Can you just, the transfer window closed yesterday. Can you give us an update as to
Yeah,
whatnot?
we worked, we had a couple of targets for the transfer window, and one in particular that we pursued until very late, and it didn't come together. It was a pretty ambitious signing. That didn't happen. However, I want people to know that we are still working on two big signings that are not affected by the transfer window. So that we still believe that there will be some significant news in the next, probably one within a week and then one within 2 weeks. That will, I think, really change our team for several years to come. So there's still some exciting and happy news coming, but it ended up not being based on the transfer window. Now we did add a couple of players during the window, but they weren't DP players, and we do think that they're going to help our team for sure.
The people that are possibly coming in are these possible DP caliber. Okay.
Yes, both of them are DP caliber players, and like I said, I wish I could be a little more specific, but I think within probably a week we'll have one announcement, and then the other announcement might take slightly longer. I think we'll have resolution internally on both of them within a week.
Frustrating at all that a couple of the other ones didn't work out?
A little bit, but we're trying to be really patient. We're trying to. I mean, there were guys we could have signed, and frankly, there were guys we could have signed that would have made us better. But we're trying to sign the right guys. We're trying to sign players that will really make an impact on our club for some years to come. So we targeted a couple of guys. It didn't work out, and we're going to keep now doing our diligence between now and January, and we'll have a lot more time. We know what our budgets are. We know what we're able to do. We can go after this in an even more organized manner than we were able to this time.
The deal that fell through, was it with Maxime Morales?
I'm not gonna comment on deals that didn't go through, and I'm certainly not going to comment on players that are under contract to other teams.
Okay. Can you clarify the Urruti situation, because there seems to be some confusion as to whether he's a free agent or not?
Yeah, I'd rather not comment on that either.
Okay.
We're monitoring the situation. I'll put it that way.
Okay. So he could be possible?
Anything's possible, John.
So coy.
Yeah, I can't really comment too much about that one.
I think there was a lot of, from the fans' perspective, and there was a lot of sense that, the team, I think you and both Ryan said, we're going to bring players in this summer, and it hasn't quite sort of turned out that way. Are you getting the sense of the growing tide of frustration amongst the fan base over this?
Well, look, we're not going to rush into things. I mean, if I was worried about that only, we could have signed players, but we might be sitting a year from now saying, why did we do that? Why didn't we wait for this guy? So we worked very hard to try to bring in players that were subject to the transfer window. Those didn't come together except for Ray. And our left back, who's, I don't know why I have. Yeah, Elmer. I have the hardest time remembering his name. I keep wanting to say Elam. I keep thinking of Jack Elam, the actor. Anyway, for Elmer and Ray came in, and we think that both of those guys are going to make our team better. One of the players, both of the players that I'm talking about that we still are pursuing are big signings, and will have a dramatic impact on our club for a long time to come.
Attacking players?
Oh, yeah, both attacking players, very much so. So, I think the fans should not be worried. Listen, we wanted to get guys in, 2 weeks ago, so they could have helped us win games. But it's much more about, the next 4 or 5 years. And our fans should be comforted by the fact that we are going to get some signings done, and we're going to spend quite a bit of money on those signings. And I think when they occur, the fans are going to be really excited.
Can we get just one comment on the signing of Manny?
Yeah, well, Manny, our timing might not have been the best on that because, it looked like our big signing in the transfer period was from our own academy. But we're really excited about Manny. We think he's a great story. He's a great young kid. He's a talented young kid. And he really is a full-fledged product of our academy. He's been in it for years. So we're happy for him and his family.
you're only limited now, not limited, I shouldn't say, maybe, but you can't go after players that are under contract with.
Well, you
because
can. You can.
Sure.
You can negotiate them for January.
Okay.
Or you can get guys that are out of contract.
Right. But with that window being closed, does that sort of limit the talent pool? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
The potential.
well, yeah. I mean,
And how much so?
in an abstract sense, it does. But the two guys that we're talking to are two guys that we've had targeted for a long time. So it doesn't matter to us that there's other players that are limited. These are the two guys we want, and we want them whether the transfer window is open or closed.
Right.
So it's just we have a little more time on them. You know, it wasn't quite as much of a time crunch.
Because they're not subject to the.
Right, because they were not subject to the window.
Take one more for
Kevin, there had been rumors out of the States that TFC were one of the teams early on that were rumored for Clint Dempsey. Can you speak at all about TSV's perspective on that pursuit?
We didn't pursue Clint Dempsey. Obviously, we've known Clint Dempsey for a long time. I mean, Ryan Nelson's friends with him. They have the same agent. They played against each other. Clint competed against my teams in D.C. from the time he was a rookie. Thomas Rongen had him with the U20 national team. Thomas was really the first guy to give Clint a look at that level. But we didn't, I wouldn't say we pursued him. I think it probably makes more sense for Clint to be at a U.S. team, frankly, from a marketing perspective. And that has to be taken into consideration when you make the kind of investment it takes to get a player of Clint's caliber. Clint's a great player that's going to really help our league, and he's going to really help Seattle. We certainly, as far as his soccer ability, we would have liked to have had him, but it makes a lot more sense for him to be where he is.